Good morning, everyone. It is another episode of Stash Buster at A Piece of You in Bay City, Michigan. It is a chilly morning this morning, and it almost feels like fall. I know it's not even summer yet, but that's how it felt in my bedroom this morning because I left the windows open, so it was a little brisk. So, hi Sandy, good to see you. I have a few things that I've been working on. A cheat sheet for one of the items that you guys have seen. What a color will do to change the look of something. And let's see, I'm going to try and do a little tour of the store. Hi, Rachel. We have been moving everything around. Well, not everything, but we have been moving tables around and displays and different things like that. Hi, Jillian. Hi, Doreen. I know some of you live too far away to even shop in our store. So this will give you a chance to see what we have. I'll try and go a little quicker than I usually do. But if you have any questions or you see something you'd like, please put it in the comments and we're happy to help you out. And yes, last night I worked on the purchase orders for the things that we bought during our trade show, and I forgot I had one thing coming in next month that I'm very excited about. It's a linen merino blend fingering weight. So we had something from Lavender Loom last year in a trunk show, and so I thought, oh, that might be kind of fun to bring in again because I really liked working with that type of yarn. Hi Jackie, good to see you. It is a sunny day today, which always makes everybody's outlook better. It is supposed to be a typical Memorial Day weekend. This weekend it is supposed to rain most of the weekend. But good news is we are open today, Friday, Saturday. We will be closed on Sunday and Monday. Hi Sandy, good to see you. Hi Peggy. So please come in and shop with us. We're open 10 to 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. And hopefully we'll see you guys. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Marcina. You can always shop on our website. It's open 24/7, 365 days a year. So please feel free to shop there. Hi, Louise. Good to see you. I do want to tell you guys, I'm wearing the Terrace Garden sweater. This one is a Blue Sky Fibers pattern. It is made with Woolstock Light. And I was just thinking this morning, it is 100% wool. It's soft enough. You can tell I wear it all the time because it needs to get one of those pill combs on it. Hi, Jean. But I love this sweater because it's lightweight. It's fingering weight. And if I had used one of these three colors for my base, if I had used, let's see, Highland Fleece or Driftwood, Pink Quartz, or this one I always get wrong, Thermal Spring, it would have looked like a summer sweater. Hi, Kayla. Instead of, I used the navy blue because I was making it in the fall, but if I had made it with one of these brighter springier colors, it would have looked more like a spring sweater. So that's what color can do, okay? Color can also do this. Whoops, I threw all the papers on the floor. Hang on. Okay. I made this sweater. It's an Elizabeth Smith sweater. I can't remember what it's called. It was top down. It needs to be reblocked because when I blocked it, it grew. It's huge. Okay, I could fit two of me in this sweater. So I'm going to reblock it and shrink it down a little. If it doesn't shrink down, I'll just knit it again. But this one, hi Trina. And I saw somebody else come on. Deanne is on. Okay, I always like to say hi to everybody. But this one was a fall color, a fall colorway. But I really, really loved the yarn. This one is a worsted weight. It is Noro Tenson, 65 silk, 25 wool. Really soft, especially when you block it. Always the Noros, you want to wash them. But put a little Eucalyptus in a sink full of water, cold water. Let it sit for just a few minutes. Rinse it. You don't even have to rinse it out. Just squeeze out the water and lay it out flat to dry, and you will be amazed at how soft the Noros get. Okay, that's why I always say I love Noro, is because it gets so soft and squishy. Hi, Eliza. Good to see you. Hi, Marianne. So, but that one is my fall sweater. I decided I needed another, hi, Mary. I needed another summer sweater. So, I'm using that same yarn, the Tenson, for the Wave Tee. The Wave Tee. And this sweater is even simpler than a fancy. I'm going to tell you that right now. It does have a little bit of short rows, not very many. I think there's like go back and forth 6 times type of an idea. Not a life or death situation. But there's not even any ribbing on it. And she says it's a boat neck. And I was a little worried. I always, it seemed really big, the neck. And then I got going on it and it seemed a little bit smaller. Now I put it on this mannequin, and this is one of our skinny mannequins. And this neck is not bad at all. And I'm kind of excited. I was thinking I would just pick up and do some ribbing, which you could do, but I think it's going to be just nice the way it is. Now I'll block it first and then we'll see. You can tell I needed to identify the sleeves as I was making it, so I have markers on the sleeves. And this is Tenson in the pink, which is color 3. We have this yarn on sale. Now it looks very tiny on this mannequin, but I'm going to tell you, like that sweater over there, it will grow. Noro will always grow. It's the wool in it that will let it grow. So I'm not too worried about it, but I put it on the mannequin. I'm almost done. I started this, today's Thursday. I started this Tuesday morning, worked on it for an hour or so, worked on it yesterday afternoon. No, actually evening, because I did some yard work. Yes, I actually did some yard work yesterday. And then I couldn't breathe the rest of the day because I was doing mulch. But anyways, side note, I think this one is turning out really, really nice. I can't wait to wear it. It's going to be great with jeans or some little capris or something like that, even shorts. I am going to make the sleeve a little bit longer. I have plenty of yarn left from my skein. These skeins have 328 yards. I'm trying to read the little sign that's over there. 328 yards, which is exactly what it says you need for the largest size. I think if you, this pattern, I'm just going to be all over the place. This pattern goes up to a 59 3/4 and super easy. There's not even any ribbing at the bottom. There's no ribbing on the sleeve, no ribbing on the neck. You're just going to cast off. How easy is that? And I'm using a size 10. So that's also the reason it is going very quickly, because an inch is like 4 rows. So I think I have to do maybe another inch or 2, and then it'll be fine. I might just try it on later when I get home and see how far I need to go. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. But it's just a fun one. It's a bulky weight. It's worsted weight. Well, it's worsted weight, but it's kind of a bulky gauge. But because of all the silk, it's going to be so lightweight. It's going to be really soft, really lightweight. I wish you guys could feel it. I love all the colors in it. And I don't even mind the thick and thin. It's just kind of a rustic sweater. So, nope, you're going to need 2 skeins, Rachel. I'm going to tell you all about it. This yarn is on sale. It was $53.50. It's on sale for $42.80. So 2 skeins is $85.60. You will go into the second skein. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that no matter how little you are, you're going to go into the second skein. Hey, Diane. The pattern is $8.25 on Ravelry. We can get it for you. And super easy. And to have a sweater in 3 days, okay, I'll give you a week. But you could have a sweater done in a week because there's nothing to it. I have color 3, which is the same color as mine. It's the pink. I have color 11, which kind of looks like a denim-y kind of color with some chartreusey green. Let me get up close to this one. Chartreusey green, some kind of almost lavendery kind of colors. Really cool, though. I love the tweediness of this. I have color 13, which is this really pretty turquoisey teal kind of color. Very pretty. They're all going to stripe kind of like this, not a significant stripe, just kind of like colors going on. And I have 1 kit of 2 skeins of color 10. That's all I have. So if you're watching this and you want color 10, put it in the comments right now and I will send you an invoice before I leave today. Because I only have one of these. Okay. It is supposed to be a little bit shorter. It's supposed to let's see, what size am I making? I'm making the 42 1/4, which is going to be 20 1/2. I'm thinking mine's going to be a little longer than that, maybe 21, something like that. Because I'm not very long. If you need a third skein, we can help you out with that. That's not a problem. It's still like $120, something like that, 100 and whatever. $42.80 plus $85.60, still not a bad deal. These will be on the live on Saturday, but if you want one, get one today, because I think they're going to go fast, especially since in 2 days I'm going to have a sweater. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, so she'll take the 10. Perfect. See, look at that. And the pattern. Rachel got it. I still have pink. I have the pink, which is color 3. I have color 11. And I have color 13. Hi, Jan. Good to see you. All right. The wave tee, just super fun. It's a petite knits. Her patterns are super easy to follow. Okay. I have, it's a pay for pattern. It's $5. It's the Sagapanak. Yeah, okay. It's really cute though. It's this little bag and it's linen stitch. And I thought it was just a great way to use up some of your leftovers. You know, we've been doing a lot with Lannis Light and all that kind of stuff. And so, you might have some leftovers. This would be a great way to do it. You could double some fingering, make it a little bigger, or something like that. It's 15 inches in diameter by 9 inches high. Just a little cute little pouch. So very fun. That is my pay for, use up your scraps. This one is, and this one might be a kit coming up soon. I just haven't had enough time to put anything together yet, but you never know, on Saturday we might have it. This is the Sailing Life, and it uses, I'm going to show you over here. I'm going to do a little quick tour. We have these, it doesn't necessarily use these, but mini skeins would be perfect. The Fino mini skein set, you might even be able to get a couple of these out of it. We have all these really pretty colors. They're $48. There's 450 yards in each box, 90 yards a piece. I think they used 80, so you have plenty. And you're going to use some mohair. And I'm going to show you our new wall of fluff in just a few minutes, so we can put together some kits for that. All right. I did tell you guys, we had the Brooklyn Raglan sweater on our live Tuesday, I have to think about it. I don't even know what day today is. And this has been, the reason it's all wrinkly is because it's been in my bag all like wadded up, so you can see how well it does when you wad it up in your project bag. I love this stitch. It is basically a moss stitch, and I'm going to show you what I did. It is, gotcha, Doreen. And it is the Brooklyn Raglan from Tori U, and it goes up to a 66. It's beautiful. I am making the 46. I'm not really sure why I decided to make such a big sweater, but I did. I'm using 4 skeins. So if you make a 42, 4 skeins is plenty. But I wanted to show you this. The pattern basically for the whole sweater is knit 1, purl 1. Next row you knit. Next one, purl 1, knit 1. So opposite. And then I always love it when they say rep round 2. Why don't you just write knit? It's a personal issue I have. But this is your pattern for the sleeves. And you guys told me you wanted texture, so we did some texture. And what I'm going to tell you is this worked out so well for me. I was struggling trying to figure out, you can see I was struggling trying to figure out how to make this work. I finally got a big piece of paper out. Yes, I do occasionally have a big piece of paper. And what I did was I wrote row 1, and I'm going to do round 1. Row 2, I'm going to do round 2. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. I'm going to go back to round 1. 6, 2, 7, 3. Now I figured out how many repeats I needed and how many when I needed to decrease, okay? So I needed to decrease about every 7 to 8 rows based on how long I wanted my sleeve and all that kind of stuff. So what I did was I put a square around when I would decrease, and then I always did it on a row that was either 2 or 4, okay? Hi, Melissa. 2 or 4. It was a whole lot easier to decrease in the just knit rows. So if I had to go, maybe I did 6 rows, then I did 8 rows. It didn't really matter. So, but what they do tell you in this little blurb here is that after you do your decrease round, then what you want to do in the next round is you want to do the same pattern round as the row before it. Okay, so that's why this piece of paper was really important. So I had done 3, then I decreased, then I went back to 3 again. Even though I should have gone to 1, I went to 3, and that keeps your pattern in its flow. How's that? That's a good fancy word, isn't it? Because you've now decreased 2 stitches, so everything would be off. Because what happened was I had to redo this whole sweater because when I started doing that, I didn't pay any attention to that. I didn't read the small print. No, went right by it. I got ribbing. Yeah, it was great. In the middle of my sleeve, I had ribbing. And that's because they tell you to do this. So this worked out really well. Whether you do it on your computer, whether you do it on a piece of paper like this, whether you just remember in your head, hey, good for you. So then I would do 3, 4, then go back to 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to decrease. I'm going to go back up to 3. I didn't always do it that way. Sometimes I decreased on a 2, which I went back to a 1. So that way you kind of get the idea. I like doing these sheets for my sleeves, whether I have to do any fancy pattern or anything like that. And then I know how many of my ribbing I did. I also know where I actually did my decreases. Yes, I do have my coilless safety pins on here. But this reminds me, because sometimes my numbers are off, my gauge doesn't stay the same with my sleeves, and sometimes I have to move some decreases around. And so these kind of papers are always good. I will put this piece of paper with the pattern when I put it in the binder, in my finished binder, projects binder. So if I ever do make this sweater again, that is a great way to do it. Okay. And you're going to love this yarn. It is super soft. I know it's 100% wool. It does not feel like wool. It feels really soft. So make sure you check that out. Okay, I have 10 minutes to do a wild trip around the store, okay? Remember that our spring knit along ends on June 22nd. It is the Easy Eyelet Yoke sweater and the Prospect tee. If you want to show us how far you have gotten, we did a post on Monday. Post your picture there. We will print them out. I haven't printed any out. I forgot. But we'll get them on our closet doors where we put everybody's finished sweaters. So that's always fun. All right. When you come in the store, not too much has changed. We moved some of the Cocoa Knits over here. We have lots of our notions up here. So that's always good, especially for yarn crawlers. They like to buy something little. We have some of our own snap bags here and our splash bags. We do have some of those. What is the name of the tee to the right of the anchor tee? Can I use the cotton lugs to the right of the anchor tee? Peggy, when we get there, let me know where we are. To the right of the... Yeah, Peggy, I will try and watch the comments. Let me know or give me a call right after this live and we'll help you out. All right. When you walk in the door, if you go to the right, this is our clearance section. We have lots of fun things in here. And yes, so lots of fun stuff in here. We have in the middle section down below in the cubes is most of our chunky yarn. Now we have some new displays. Okay, so you're going to see something like this maybe. These are for the Night and Day cowl. Night and Day cowl from Andrea Mowry. It's on Ravelry for $7. What we did was ours was made with Merino 401. We put together some color combinations for you. You don't have to buy one of these, but if you do, that would be great. These are $20, $10 a skein, so very nice. And we're trying to put out some of our samples of our sweaters and things like that. Speaking of samples, I added a whole bunch of sweaters. Look at even my doodle sweater. Yeah, or whatever that thing was called. Yeah, what is it called? Ooey gooey, ooey gooey. Lots of new sweaters in our, and shawls and scarves and things like that in our samples for sale. So make sure you get those. What I did was I measured the chest size and told you about the contents of the yarn. Okay, we do have a whole bunch of our notions and things. We moved our doodles over here. And guess what? Did you know that this little guy twirls? He's so much fun. All kinds of fun little things. These are great stocking stuffers and things like that. All right, if you come over here, there's the register. We have our kits for our Nordic Snowflake Sweater Chunky. These are very fun. This was the Nordic Snowflake Sweater Chunky. Say that fast 5 times. And we've already put together kits for you. Okay, I do have most of the colors I have extra skeins of, so if you need a bigger size. We are still working on redoing some stuff over here, but most of this is our needles over here and some more Emma Ball notions. We've put together some kits for the Market Square Tote. Market Square Tote. And we put together some kits. And these are on sale for $71. So that is plenty of yarn to make one of these. This is the large size. I made mine a little bit bigger. You might even be able to make the large size as its real size and a small one out of this amount of yarn because I had a lot left. And then we have some individual skeins if you want to make your own kits. Okay. We have lots of samples. So we have our Grid Gambit cowls. We have a couple of them next to our Utopia Helix DK. It's a gradient yarn. It's super fun. We put in a little seating area because we do know when people come in the summertime, they're usually traveling with husbands, moms, whatever. And so we put our chairs back out on the floor. I have my artist shawl, and it is right next to all of our Lannis Light. Very fun. We have our camper. We have our organic cotton sport. And guess what? We're getting some new colors in, brand new colors. They should be here in another week or so. We have our Noro Sonata. If you see empty things like that, it means we have something coming soon. Something coming soon. We have our Hat Kits, we have our Zoe, we have our United. This is our sport weight wall. Okay? This yarn is by, hopefully by Yarn Crawl. This yarn will be moving here, and we will have some new spiral grain from Earth Yarns coming. So that is really fun. Okay, we do have some kits for different projects. Our Woolstock Light, so if you want to make a sweater like I'm wearing, but you want it in more of a fruity flavor or a springier color, that's a better word. We have those here. We have our Pendles. Look at this. All our itsy bitsy bags are up here. Our Marla, our Sammy, all that kind of fun stuff. All our bags have kind of moved over here. So very fun. My Jane cardigan is over here. I still don't have buttons for that. I'm hoping to go on the Yarn Crawl and get some buttons for that. Our Scout is here. That is our hardworking DK weight that we all love. Our Siyun is here. That's what I made my Jane cardigan on. I'm just going to make you guys all nauseous here today. We have our Rambouillet. We have a constant order for Rambouillet because we love it so much. I know these colors are all kind of fall-like, but, you know, some people don't knit a sweater in a week is what I've been told. So this way you'll have your sweater all done for the fall. We have our brand new Mabuki, which is beautiful. It's a silk wool viscose blend, 492 yards. So cool. We moved our Amatamis back here. Aren't they cute? They're $16 a piece. They're like Woobles at half the price. So that is always fun. We have our brand new Wall of Fluff. Yes, our Wall of Fluff. You know me. I love mohair. So we brought in extra. Sorry. We did move our Uptown DK here. Thank you, Norma. We moved our Uptown DK here because it's in the DK room now. Neat idea. We have some random things on the table here. We have our double yarn holders. These are great. We have a little bit of sport got put over here. We have our needle travel books. We moved the Patagonia over here because it got moved in the middle of the store and it's DK. So that was fun. We have a little bit of sport over here because we needed a shelf. Some more bags. We now have a big long table here for, you guys probably saw on Tuesday night, for our lives. We also have our big table here in the middle for our lives. We have all our exclusive yarns here in the middle underneath our beautiful welcome sign. Very fun. And then we put all our samples. We got organized. So we put all our samples of what those yarns look like knit up. And let's see. Oh, Peggy, I'm hoping you'll give me a comment. I do have a few more bags in here just because we have a lot of bags. So buy bags, guys. We rearranged our washable room. That's what we call this room, which is inside the doorway. So if you're coming to visit us, make sure you go in here. We've reorganized it so that most of it is done by weight. So I have my Anchor Tee, and we were showing it with the Cotton Luxe. Now, I didn't use Cotton Luxe for mine. Mine is a different cotton from Lanes to Nord. It was last year's color. It's going to look just basically the same. Now, we kept these bags, these yarns in the bag, okay? It does not mean you have to buy a whole bag. I want to make sure everybody knows that. But there were so many colors within each one of the colorways that we wanted to make sure you guys knew that. Please let us know how many you need. They're $28 a piece. So that is cool. We do have some offbeat. We put most of our fingering in now is on this wall here. So we have lots of fingering weight. This is all washable fingering weight. Then we get into some sport and some DK fingering, sort of fingering weight. We go into DK. Then we have all our bonus DK over here. We do have a couple of the Easter egg kits left. They're $67. You obviously don't have to make the Easter egg blanket. I know there's a spring one out there Sirdar has. This would be great for that. Then over here, we have some worsted weight, okay? I do have my morning walk, which is made with the Araucania Suave. We put our blanket kits back here because our sheep guy was just taking up so much room in the middle of the store, so we put them back here. We have some worsted weight sock. You don't have to make socks with it. I kind of call it worsted weight sock because you can make a pair of socks with it. We have our dishcloth yarn. We have more of our blanket kits. These are all crochet blanket kits. And then we have some of our Barocco Vintage Chunky. We will be ordering that again. So if people are asking, you don't have very much, it's because we'll bring it in like August when you're kind of thinking about chunky. And we just brought in our Juniper Moon Cumulus Matisse, brand new yarn for us. And the solids, this might be on Saturday's live, so make sure you check out those. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, okay. This is our fingering weight wall, okay, hand-dyed fingering weight, all right? And in this basket are like onesies, because sometimes we have too many colors to put up on the wall. And then we have our Modern Comfort down here. We have our Creative Melange. This is all worsted weight because we're going into our worsted weight wall. We do have our Delaque knit sacks. Thanks, Peggy. I can't wait for you to come during the yarn crawl. Faux fur palms. We have lots of those. And then our fingering weight wall got so big that we had to move it over here. And so we have our Ba fingering weight yarns and our Road Trip fingering weight. We just ordered more of the La Jolla 5-skein packs because you guys bought us out. We have, now I'm going to start my worsted weight wall. We have the Ann Make Erin, which is what the Nordic Snowflake Chunky is made out of. I love this yarn personally. And we also have our vintage worsted. Most of our vintage worsted is on the table over there for blanket kits, so it is a little fuller. We have our cotton merino. I'm going to be putting together some more Felix sweater kits because everybody loved those. I made the Oxa out of the cotton merino this year. This is where our Tenson is. And our Tasagari, we only have 2 colors of Tasagari left, and they have been discontinued. So if you like Tasagari, make sure you get that soon because that's all we can get. I've moved Iris over here. It's a beautiful worsted weight. I love this yarn. And then our Blue Sky wall is here, and very fun. We have lots of it. And then we move into our Edo wall. You know that's my favorite yarn is Edo. And we have our jewel spun ombre here. We have some of our samples here, some of our clearances here. And yeah, I guess that's it. So the girls have all come. Oh, I missed. In the middle of the room, we've now moved our jewel spun over here. It's a freestanding display, so we decided we really wanted to move it near the worsted weight, and we have all the patterns on display now for you. So that is very fun. Yeah, I guess that's it. The girls are all coming in. They're waiting for the table, so I better stop talking. And those 2 people Rachel and Doreen, who ordered sweater kits, I will send you an invoice after I stop talking. You know that will never happen. And we'll go from there. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. And remember, the middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl, you can come in before that, but the middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl is June 11th through the 20th. And we are doing a bus trip Thursday, June 18th. You are going to get to go to 8 shops, including a Puce of You. If you haven't gotten your bag, you can get one from us when you come. It is $110 per person. That's basically gas and driver fees. But that way you have a great time going to see 8 of the 12 shops. And this year we're doing something different. You're going to get an entry for every shop you go into to win a prize. We have at least 15 prizes you can win. We're not doing the gigantic gift baskets. It seemed to be just too overwhelming, and people took years to go through their baskets. So we're doing a little bit smaller, but really wonderful gifts. So that is good. And we're going to have some gifts. If you come to our shop and buy something, you will be entered to win. We're going to do like we did last year, where you put your entry form in front of the item that you want. So that is my scoop for the day. Come visit us. We love customers, and we can help you find a project or bring your pattern in. We'll help you find a yarn. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, we'll be live on Saturday morning at 9:30. Okay, so make sure you watch. It's supposed to rain, so it'll be a great thing to do while you're sitting in the house. Talk to you soon.